A couple videos ago, I taught you guys how to install Minecraft mods, and in today's video, I'm showing you guys which mods that you should install. Yes, there's a method to my madness. Anyways fellas, Minecraft's Mounts of Mayhem update came out over a month ago at this point, and I figured it's about time we go over some mods to make your Minecraft experience just a little bit better. So like and subscribe if you enjoy the content today, the link in the description will be to all the mod downloads, and let's go ahead and jump into this. Village Masquerade. Now, this is one of the most underrated mods I've seen in quite a bit because at the time of recording this mod has around 2,000 downloads, and I want to showcase you guys what it's all about. So right here, we have ourselves a little wooden raft with a bunch of villager stalls in the middle of nowhere. So with this mod installed, whenever you go to trade with villagers, whenever you master their trades, you're now able to buy clothing items associated with that villager for yourself. And as you'll notice, you'll actually get discounts whenever you're trading with these guys in the future if you're wearing what they sold you. So we can go down to the cartographer, we can see that he's selling the cartographer harness as well as the cartographer monocle, and these will actually stack. So if I equip both of these at the same time, all of these trades are going to go down in price. You'll see that this says 7 emeralds down to 6. If I go ahead and put on the monocle on my character, as you guys can see, you'll see that it's now 4 emeralds, and if I were to buy this from him and put the harness on, it would go down even further. This is an incredible mod because it incentivizes you to actually max out the trades of maybe villagers that you normally wouldn't, but it also adds a bunch of other stuff as well. As you can see, there's actually some illager and pillager items that you can get as rare drops when fighting them, and so if you decide to wear this, so I can go and grab all of these, if I were in survival mode, these guys actually wouldn't attack me. Where are my eyes? Let's pretend that didn't happen. These guys actually wouldn't attack me. You know, I'm gonna give it some leeway. This is a new mod. These guys actually wouldn't attack me if I was wearing that. We also have the Wandering Trader, so easily hide from enemies during the night. So there we go. There's a little look. We got my hair sticking out, which looks pretty funny. We even have a rare witch outfit that we can get like this. And so it'll say become friends with illagers. Well, watch out for the iron golem. Same thing as the other ones. And then if you decide to fight iron golems, you can actually get a rare set of iron golem armor, and if we go and throw this on, yeah, it looks pretty cool, doesn't it? This mod is really sick. It has a lot of depth to it with a lot of different items that you can earn, and it definitely helps with the incentivization of actually trading with some of these guys, even if their trades aren't that great. Minecraft movie structures. This mod is fairly self-explanatory. It's going to add a bunch of different structures from the Minecraft movie into your actual Minecraft game. And funnily enough, this is the mushroom safe house, and it's right next to a pale garden, which is in and of itself on fire. Anyways, these are all fully furnished buildings and structures that do come with their own loot. So if we go ahead and head inside of the safe house and open this up, you'll actually see that we have a book and quill here. We got some bookshelves, a loom, a bed. We have a chest right here. Really cool stuff, even an armor stand with some armor on it. So this is something that you could find out in the wild, maybe on a brand new survival world. Maybe you could turn it into your own, or you could just use it as a loot checkpoint. Of course, this pack wouldn't be a good one without Steve's lava chicken. So as you guys can see, here is the lava chicken structure. If we go ahead and jump down here, you can actually see all of the chickens in there. And sadly, I don't think this thing is hooked up to redstone, but I sure wish it was. This is a really cool structure. We can actually open up this chest right here, see a bunch of chicken as well as emeralds. It comes with its own villager. And if we go ahead and pop around back, you can actually see a little bit of the inner workings inside of here. So really cool stuff. Really like this structure. Of course, this is the mainstay of this pack. We, of course, also have the pink wool house. So we can go ahead and head inside of here. It comes with its own furnishing. We also have advancements in this mod, which is really cool. And yeah, we'll have a bunch of utility blocks in here. We'll have the pink chest with a bunch of loot inside of it. And then of course we have another armor stand, another chest, and a bed. And last but not least, I believe this is from the end of the movie, this is the old portal. And honestly, I feel like Minecraft could really use something like this as like an ultra rare structure. We have ruined portals that kind of show you how it works, but even then, if you're somebody that is completely new to Minecraft, no friends that play it or anything like that, you might not pick up on the subtle hints of what a ruined portal actually is supposed to be. So having these be like an ultra rare structure, maybe like a pillager mansion or something like that, would actually be a cool shout to see in the actual vanilla game. Call your Nautilus. Now, I feel like the majority of us can agree that the Nautilus part of the Mounts of Mayhem update is pretty sick. I love these guys, I think building with them is incredible, but maintaining them and making sure they're around you at all times can be a bit annoying, and that's where your Call your Nautilus comes into play. So what you're gonna wanna do is have at least a name tag and a goat horn. I went ahead and named this one @𝗏𝗏𝗱𝗏 because this guy actually recently used my creator code on 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏, which by the way, I saw a lot of people say I'm quitting Minecraft because I've been uploading 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏. That's not the case, fellas. I'm just gonna do both, but I appreciate it, 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏. I figured I'd give you a little shout out as a big thank you. But anyways, what you wanna do is you want to name your Nautilus anything. It can literally just be just about anything. And then you wanna obtain a goat horn. Then while looking at the Nautilus, you wanna hold Shift, and then you'll actually see that your goat horn is going to get enchanted and it's going to be named after, you know, whatever you named your Nautilus. And then whenever you blow it, your Nautilus will actually teleport to you. And in this case, I actually didn't know, I auto got on top of it, which is super cool. And even if we go into unloaded chunks, so if I take a look, we're at -1144 and 3895. I'm just gonna go ahead and hop off of this guy and go into creative mode and just fly really far away. And now that we're far away enough, we'll go ahead and hop in the water and blow our horn. And you'll actually see that he just teleports right under me and I can now ride him around. Now this isn't really going to work as well if I just kind of do this on land. He's not really going to respond. So with this mob in particular, you do want to make sure that you're at least in the water, and then it'll teleport right to you, and then you can go about Nautilusing around. PROVI'S health bars and village healthcare. Now, this first mod is gonna be for my OGs out there. We'll get to village healthcare in a minute. But do you guys remember back in the OG days of Minecraft YouTube? You'd basically see just about any YouTuber on the planet using some kind of health bar mod. And this is kind of like an updated version of that. And I just think it looks so clean. I love the way it looks in the top left. I love the little health bars that appear above the mobs, and even the little damage numbers that come out whenever you attack them, and the showcasing of their health is really cool. Now you can combine this, and I'm going to combine this to showcase to you guys how this next mod works, which is village healthcare. This is going to assign some unique traits to the cleric as well as the armorer villager. So first up, for the armorer villager, if we walk up to an iron golem and just start giving him a beating just like this, you'll actually notice that the armorer is gonna walk up to the iron golem and repair him in real time, literally while we're doing this. He's gonna walk up and just get him all the way up to 100% health. This is actually really cool, especially if you're out in the wild and you don't want your villagers getting hurt, but you don't really have time to worry about them. Well, if they do have an armorer and they do have an iron golem, whenever the village gets attacked at night, these guys can actually help sustain the iron golem after a night's work of attacking zombies, skeletons, etc. Now, the cleric works in a similar manner, where if you actually injure a villager and get them really hurt, the cleric will walk up to them with a potion of healing and heal them. This mod, incredibly underrated. Honestly, both of these are incredibly underrated, but I've been a very big fan of villager healthcare for a while now, and if you're an OG Minecraft YouTube veteran, whether you did it or you've been watching it, maybe PROVI'S health bars is something you want to check out as well. Enchantment Glint Outline. Now, unfortunately for this mod, we cannot use shaders as it does not have shader compatibility. But what this mod is going to do is it's going to allow you to give custom outlines to anything that can be enchanted in the game. As you guys can see, whenever I'm holding this pickaxe or if I throw it on the floor, you can see that it has a very thick white outline to it. Well, that's not by mistake. That's actually something that I custom added myself. We'll actually go ahead and grab a sword as well. and we could even do a spear. We'll do a golden spear. So let's go ahead and enchant these guys. Just like that. So as you guys can see, here's what they look like. We have the spear, we have the sword, looking good. But if we ever wanted to change it, we could go ahead and go to our mod menu and pull this up. So now we can actually adjust the outline size. So I'll go half of what it used to be. Let's say we want a bright red outline, hit save changes, and you'll actually see that, well, now the outline is a lot thinner and it is red. We can also go back if we were trying to replicate a little bit of the, purple feel of what enchantments normally look like. We can go with something that looks a little bit like that. We'll bring the outline size a little bit up as well. And then boom, we kind of have that little purple look. It's a really cool pack overall, but unfortunately it does not work with shaders, which is a real shame because I do love the customization that can come with this pack. Overall, I do think that the white outline looks really cool because it kind of looks as though you hit a mob with a spectral arrow but on your gear. It's a really cool mod, so if you're somebody that doesn't use shaders, you might want to download this one so you can fully customize anything enchanted in your game. 𝗏𝗏𝗔𝗂'𝗏𝗏. This is going to be a pretty big mod for all of my survival fellas out there. Essentially what this mod does, and it does it in a pretty vanilla friendly way, is it kind of gives you a little bit of a tool belt. If you look in the bottom right, you'll see that I have a couple of tools alongside my pickaxe in the bottom right corner. And the way that this actually works is it pulls from the column that is above your hotbar slot. And when it is like this, you can go ahead and press the 1 key multiple times to cycle through everything that you have in that column. Or in my case, I have the keys like G and H, so I can swap from left to right specifically. So at one press of a button, I could get my axe, and then I could go back and grab my spear instead of needing to cycle over and over and over again. But this is a really cool mod because it allows you to keep your hotbar clean while also having access to a bunch of different tools as well. It's super simple to just swap between these, and if you are a survival player and want to make sure your hotbar is free for things like food or, holding armor like an elytra or chest plate, as well as building blocks and torches, then this might be the mod for you. Ender Compass. This is actually going to kind of act as a fairly vanilla friendly way of teleporting around your world. If you find yourself with an ender pearl, a compass, an amethyst shard, and a lodestone, you can actually throw these 3 things in your crafting grid to get an ender compass. Once you have one of those, you can actually find a lodestone, and similarly as whenever you just link a compass with a lodestone and then you can kind of use it as a waypoint that'll point you in that direction, well, with the ender compass, you're actually able to use it to teleport to a location. So if I go ahead and run away from that lodestone and walk over this hill to where I can't see it anymore, of course this would work thousands of blocks away, and I just hold right click, you'll actually see that I get teleported right over to the lodestone. I get a little disoriented, but in the end, we're all good to go, and I'm exactly where I want to be. It kind of makes me think of those little ender pearl stasis chambers that people sometimes build, and I can't exactly remember how they get them to close and to teleport you back to a location, but this seems like a pretty useful way to use up an ender pearl. As you'll see, it actually used it like you would a regular ender pearl if you threw it. So if you have the extra materials, using it as a one-way ticket to teleport back to base in a pinch is actually a really cool feature. I'm a very big fan of this mod. I just wish it would get a unique texture. Copper Grates Bubble. As we all know, you're able to use things like soul sand as well as magma blocks to create water elevators, those that push you up and those that pull you down. Well, what if we could get an extra use out of the copper grate block, seeing as it has a bunch of holes in it, and use it as a means to replace these blocks, maybe to keep this one from slowing you down and keep this one from burning you. If I were to go ahead and break that block and just kind of lower it by 1, make sure we fill in some water and put the copper grate there, you'll actually notice that it's going to push us up right through the copper grate. If we go ahead and go down here, we'll go ahead and mine down, put the magma there, another water just to be safe, as well as oxidized copper grates. And if we go ahead and get pushed up, we'll notice here that even with the copper grate there, we'll get pulled right down. And it's really cool because you're able to use the oxidized variant to kind of match the water texture that you'll see. It's kind of a greenish blue to go with the water blue, and looks a little less, out there and ugly, I guess. It's a really cool mod, something that does something super simple, but gives a use to the copper grate that it previously didn't have before. Respect my trims. This mod is one that... Hello? This mod is one that I always wondered why it didn't exist in survival Minecraft, and I kind of have a feeling, I just disagree with the reasoning. Essentially what this mod is going to do is it's going to allow you to wear any armor you want in the nether and not get attacked by piglins as long as it is trimmed in gold. So as you'll see, I can walk up to these guys, I'm chilling with them, they don't care, I can throw that on the floor, they'll trade with me, yada yada, but because I have a gold trim on my armor, they're not gonna bother me. And it has bothered me that that hasn't been something that's in just regular vanilla, because I mean, you look at just one gold ingot right there, and then you look at my armor, I mean, I'm decked out to the T in gold. I mean, you take a look at these little blocks right here, that's nothing compared to what I'm wearing. And in vanilla Minecraft, they would attack me, even if I'm wearing this. And you know, I always thought that was weird. I get it though, it's kind of a balance thing. They wanna make sure you have a little bit of weaker armor as a trade-off to have these guys being passive, but it doesn't make sense to me. So I love this mod, and respect my trims, you did a good job. This is a really good one, and I might end up adding this to my mod pack in the future. Underlay. Now, this is a mod that I ended up covering like forever ago in a YouTube short, and somehow I never put it in a long form video. So here's your guys' long form showcase of Underlay, and it's pretty simple. Normally, you will have blocks that, once placed, there's nothing that you can place under them. I mean, even if we were to take oak slabs and we were trying to place something under it that seems like it would fit, it just wouldn't. Well, with the Underlay mod, you're actually just able to do that if you want to. Like, I can just put some rails down here, I can put pressure plates, I can put carpet, anything like that. And this actually adds a ton of different ways that you're able to detail your builds throughout your world. And Underlay is a pretty sick option if you're trying to do that. It's really cool. I'm not really too, knowledgeable on all the cool things that you could do, all the cool tech that you could get away with, but it does seem like a really interesting mod, and especially if you're a builder that wants to do a ton of detail, this is the one for you. Realistic bees. Fellas, how would you like your bees to be a little realistic? So as you guys can see, bees are now the actual size of bees. Yeah, no, there's a lot of people that are out there that are very pro-realism in Minecraft. Well, if you really wanted realism in Minecraft, you'd have super tiny bees all over the place. Now, this comes with a couple of changes. Of course, the bees are really tiny, and as you'll see, their hitboxes are a lot tinier as well. But also, beehives and bee nests will also hold upwards of 30 bees, not actually 30, 20 bees at a time. So it kind of makes it, a lot better if you're trying to make a bee farm and you don't just want like a couple of them at a time. No, you can actually hold up to 20 of them in a nest at a time or a hive. And yeah, they just look really nice. I mean, I don't know how much they really impact your frame rate because my computer is a pretty beefy computer and I don't really notice, even with all of these guys around here running shaders and 25 render distance, I'm not really noticing a difference. But if you either have a beefy computer or if these guys don't really affect that much and you just want some realistic bees, I mean, this is what you want. A lot of bees. Pretty nice. I want to punch one. Bang. Oh no! No! Cool Rain. Now, this is by far the most popular mod that I'm going to be showcasing today, and it's mainly because this is one that I probably just should have showcased forever ago, but this is going to add a bunch of really unique and cool rain sounds whenever it's raining. And it's actually going to be dependent on what material the rain is hitting. So whether it could be wool or metal or glass or anything like that. So this is going to be a little bit of a listening test. I'm going to go ahead and cause it to rain. And what we're going to do is we're going to sit inside of this house and we're just going to replace the roof with a couple blocks and we're just going to listen. So yeah, a really cool pack. If you're somebody that likes to replace a lot of the sounds in Minecraft to make them sound a little bit more realistic or anything like that, Cool Rain is definitely one that you should check out. The sounds that it introduces are super immersive and should be in just about any mod pack that's trying to aim for realism. Armored Foes. I figured I'd just showcase this from the Modrinth page because it'd just be a lot easier to showcase to you guys. But as you guys can see, this mod is going to give every mob the gear they deserve from Drown to Illagers and beyond. So essentially any mobs that are in the game that are, you know, enemies towards you and they don't normally wear armor, well, with this mod they will. And this mod has been around for 3 months. Surprisingly, less than 3,500 downloads. It's kind of crazy, but you're going to have witches, villagers, and illagers will now show all the armor that they wear. Drowned, wither skeletons, we have piglins, piglin brutes, zombie piglins, vindicators, evokers, all that kind of stuff. They are now going to wear armor. So it's a little bit of a kind of, you know, if you want a little bit more difficulty, you could install this, or if you wanted a little bit more consistency, seeing as so many enemies can wear armor, then this is going to be the mod for you. And finally, for the last mod of the video, we have Cape Better Capes. Now, this mod is a really cool one because as you guys might have noticed, I'm actually wearing, I believe this is the Xbox 360 1-year anniversary cape, which, you know, just isn't on Java or, you know, anything like that. Pretty sure it's attached to a skin pack or something like that. This mod essentially allows you to pick from a bunch of different capes as well as custom ones that you can upload yourself without ever needing to create an account or do something on a third-party website, which I think is super cool. Not all cape mods are like that. So that's why I wanted to showcase it. It comes with its own hotkeys. So if I press M, you can actually see one of the custom capes that I decided to go ahead and add to the game. And I'll actually showcase to you guys just how easy that is. I could pull up my videos tab here. So as you guys can see, all of the things I've been filming thus far, but we can go ahead and click on new cape here and it says drag and drop a cape texture. So I can just pull this up, go to the skin MC cape texture that I found and just drag it into my game. And then boom, I now have a black cape that I can just throw on my back, and it's just that easy. And anybody that is using this mod will be able to see any of the custom capes that you're rocking or any of the capes that you decide to choose from. So as you guys can see here, we have a bunch of different ones. And I guess, you know, if you really wanted to go the route, you could go the route of Stolen Valor. Ugh, I really wish I had this cape. It's probably my favorite Minecon cape with the whole Enderman. Really cool look, but there's also stuff like really obscure capes that you probably don't even know about. Like if we go all the way over to the right, we even have a bunch of like unused, unreleased cape textures that were found. So there is a ton of stuff that you can choose from here, but a lot of cool capes nonetheless. I just so happen to really like the birthday one. And there's even the Xbox 360 cape that you can choose from as well. I don't know if you guys know this, but it was one of the first versions of Minecraft I ever played. So I kind of, in my heart of hearts, the Xbox 360 Minecraft, it makes me happy. But fellas, thank you guys so much for watching today's video. That is going to do it for me today. It's been a while since I've done just a regular mod showcase, so I hope you all enjoyed. Definitely stay tuned for another Forever World episode, as that is currently in the middle of being recorded. I have a bunch of Hightail stuff coming as well. But yeah, guys, thank you all so much for the support, and I'll see you all next time.